So this is where we are going to do the guided practice. The first thing you're going to need to do is download a copy of the practice. Once you've done that, you can either print it out and work directly on the paper, or you can just use a blank piece of paper to solve the problems. You're going to complete each problem of the guided practice, pause the video before the solution is given, and try to solve each problem. Unpause it if you get stuck, or to check if you are correct. Here we go. Subtract, draw place value blocks to show your work, regroup if needed. Problem number 1 is 326 minus 143. The first thing that we're going to do is we are going to create the minuend in the top half of our chart. So we have 326. Now we're going to subtract the subtrahend. And we're going to start in the ones place. 6 minus 3, I can do that. So I'm going to take 3 of the units and I'm going to shift them down. Now it's to the tens place. I need 2 tens minus 4 tens. I cannot take 4 tens from 2 tens, so I'm going to have to regroup. And to do that, I'm going to take a flat and I'm going to create or exchange the flat for 10 rods. So before we regrouped, I had 2 rods, 2 tens. Now after I regroup, I have 12. Before I regrouped, I had 3 hundreds or 3 flats. After I regrouped, I have 2. I took 1 flat and exchanged it for 10 rods. Now I can subtract 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to bring them down to the bottom half of our chart. Now I'm going to subtract the flats, or the hundreds. So I have 2 hundreds, I need to subtract 1. So I take 1 flat, and I place it in the bottom half. So what does our chart here represent? Well, the bottom half of our chart should be the subtrahend, or 143, the smaller number, the number that we are subtracting. And we have 143. The top half of our chart should now be the difference. What is left over now that we have subtracted 143? And we have 1 flat, 100. We have 8 rods for 80. And we have 3 units. So our difference, what's left in the top half, is 183. Now to check your work, what we can do is add up everything that we see here. And that should equal our minuend, which is the top number. So if we add up this, we have 200 plus, and that's 12 rods, or 120, plus 6, that should equal our minuend, this top number. 200 plus 120 is 320, plus 6 is 326. And that is what we started with. So we did this problem correctly. Pause the video, solve the next problem, unpause if you are stuck, or to check your work. Number 2, 363 minus 127. This top number, the large number, is the minuend, and we are going to place that number in the top half of our chart. So 3 flats, 6 rods, and 3 units. Now we're going to subtract the subtrahend. Can we take 3 minus 7? Can we take 7 units from 3 units? No, we cannot. We have to regroup. We're going to take a 10, and we're going to exchange it for 10 units. So what do? We started with 6 rods, 6 tens, and now we have 5. We started with 3 units, now we have 13. So now I can subtract 13 minus 7. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I will place them down at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Go to the rods, the tens. 5 minus 2. So we're going to take 1, 2, and we're going to put them on the bottom. 1, 2. And we have 3 flats minus 1 flat, or 300s minus 100. And we're going to take that guy and move him down. So the bottom part of our chart is going to be equal to our subtrahend, or our smaller number, 127. The top part of our chart is going to be our difference. We started with 363. We moved 127 down. What is left over? What is the difference? And that's what we have at the top. So we have 2 flats, 3 rods, and 6 units. So 363 minus 127 is equal to 236. Now, just to double check our work, we can add up everything in the entire chart, and we should get the minuend. We should come up with that larger number. So 200 plus 100 is 300. 30 plus 20 is 50. And 6 plus 7 is 13. If we add that together, we get 363, which is our minuend, or our larger number, the number that we started with. Pause the video, solve the next problem, unpause if you are stuck, or to check your work. This is number 3, 546 minus 271. Again, we're going to split our chart up into a top half and a bottom half. We are going to create the minuend, or the larger number. So we have 5 flats for 500, 4 rods for 40, and 6 units for 6. So at the top, we have 546. And we're going to move down our subtrahend, what we are subtracting. So 6 minus 1, I can do that. I'll move that 1 down here. 4 rods, or 40, minus 7 rods, 70. So 40 minus 70, I can't do. I have to regroup. So I'm going to take a flat and exchange it for 10 rods. So what did we just do? We started with 5 flats. Now we have 4. We started with 4 rods or 4 tens, 40. Now we have 14 rods or 140. Now I can subtract 7 from 14. 7 rods from 14 rods, 7 tens from 14 tens. I can do that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And from our 400, we need to subtract 200. And we can do that. So at the bottom of our chart, we should have the subtrahend, or the number that we subtracted. We have 271. So we have that correct. What's left over in the top half should be our difference. We have 275. So 546 minus 271 is equal to 275. Now, just to double check our work, we can figure out what all of this is, and it should equal our minuend, or the number that we started with. So 200 plus 200 is 400. 70 plus 70 is 140. 5 plus 1 is 6. 400 plus 140 plus 6 is equal to 546. And yes, that is the number that we started with. So we are correct. And that's it.